All right, Bitcoin holders, welcome back to another brand new video. Hope you guys are all doing well and hanging in there right now for Bitcoin. So yes, in today's video, I want to talk more about Bitcoin. What is exactly happening with Bitcoin tonight, okay? And what's happening with the crypto market, of course, what's happening with altcoins. And there is, in fact, okay, a fair few charts that I do want to show you guys because these charts are indicating that yes, Bitcoin is going to be reaching new highs. Okay, we're going to see Bitcoin going back up to its previous highs of 111, even reaching a new high up to 115 to 120 to 130 to 150, right, to even $200,000. Now, if you guys have, in fact, been watching my videos, I've been telling you guys, okay, I truly do believe Bitcoin has huge potential to reach at least $200,000 by the end of this year in 2025. So is that actually possible? Can we actually see Bitcoin, okay, reaching at least $200,000 by the end of this year in 2025? That is exactly what I want to talk about because personally, and I'm pretty sure you guys can agree with me on this one, that yes, Bitcoin has potential to reach at least 200K. Some people are even saying that we could potentially see a super cycle happening and we can see Bitcoin going to 250, right? To even like 300K, 400K. Some are even saying 500K. Some are even saying 700K, right? So yeah, as much as I am bullish on Bitcoin, I don't think we will see Bitcoin reaching like 700K, this bull market. Okay, in the next bull market, yes, 100% it will happen. But this bull market, I don't think that will happen. Okay, so I'm sticking to around 200K to 250 to maybe even $300,000, right? But I do believe it is possible that we do see Bitcoin reaching at least 200K, by the end of this year in 2025. So let's talk about that. Now, before we talk about that, I want to give you guys a quick update on what is exactly happening right now with Bitcoin tonight. So as you guys clearly see, the Bitcoin price currently at $105,000, pretty much just like where it was yesterday. Okay, Bitcoin is still continuing to consolidate. Okay, if we go to the 15-minute time frame, you guys clearly see very, very strong sideways price movements for Bitcoin. We're not seeing huge moves right now for Bitcoin. At least Bitcoin is still above 100K, right? We saw Bitcoin like 2 days ago absolutely dropping and went as low as 102.8, right? Just below 103. But it did, in fact, have a momentum back up to the upside to 106. And yeah, it's been holding up pretty well ever since then. So Bitcoin is looking pretty good, guys. Okay, it's still holding up very well. But when in doubt, zoom out and you guys clearly see, okay, on the weekly time frame, Bitcoin is fine, right? It is completely fine, guys. That drop that we saw 2 days ago, it meant nothing. Okay, because when in doubt, zoom out and you guys clearly see Bitcoin is still completely fine. Let's go to the daily time frame, right? Even on the daily time frame, Bitcoin is still completely fine, guys. Okay, we know Bitcoin has in fact been moving up to this uptrend. Okay, it's been forming this beautiful uptrend ever since it hit a low of like 74K, just below 75K. And yeah, ever since then, you guys clearly see Bitcoin has in fact been looking pretty good, right? We saw Bitcoin pump, consolidation, pump, consolidation, pump, consolidation, pump. Okay, now it's been like going down a little bit, going back up, right? So we will see where Bitcoin will be heading from here on, but I do believe it's going to be going much higher. And it is possible that maybe we do see Bitcoin dropping back below 100K. Okay, it is possible, guys. Please understand that, but it's been looking pretty good for Bitcoin. Okay, ever since, we had that drop, okay, couple of days ago, 2 days ago, right? It's been going back up slightly, right? You guys can clearly see that. So yeah, looking pretty good for Bitcoin. The crypto market today is not really moving. Okay, the market cap still above 3 trillion, which is great to see. Alts today are not really moving actually. Okay, some alts are slightly down. Okay, majority of alts are actually in the reds, but majority of altcoins today are actually not really moving. Everything is just pretty much holding quite steadily. Okay, you guys can clearly see that. So altcoins, they're holding up pretty well. Okay, they really are. The Bitcoin monthly returns, we're slightly up 0.56%, nothing too crazy. We're back in the greens. Okay, this was in fact in the reds when Bitcoin was in fact dropping, but obviously it's back in the greens now. Okay, Bitcoin has slightly gone back up slightly. And yeah, Q2 for Bitcoin, it is up over 27%. So Q2 so far is still holding up pretty well. Okay, it really is, guys. And we're about to enter Q3 and Q4. And as I told you guys, I do believe, Q3, especially Q4, will be some amazing times for Bitcoin, because I really do believe by the end of this year, we're going to be seeing Bitcoin reaching $200,000. I really do believe that is very possible. I could be wrong, guys. Okay, just like, back in our last bull market back in 2021, a lot of people, okay, were saying Bitcoin was going to be reaching, $100,000. Obviously, we didn't see Bitcoin reaching 100K, okay, in our last bull market back in 2021. So obviously, a lot of people were wrong, okay, for calling that out, right? We saw Bitcoin go as high as like 69K. So understand, guys, just because I'm calling, okay, Bitcoin reaching $200,000, other people out there are calling Bitcoin to reach 200K, it may not happen. Okay, understand that, but I truly do believe it's going to happen. I mean, the adoption for Bitcoin has been insane. We are seeing a lot of institutions, companies, right, governments, okay, countries, states buying into Bitcoin. Okay, we are seeing a lot of adoption happening for Bitcoin, and with this happening, I do believe the price of Bitcoin can reach 200K and beyond. Like I said, I could be wrong. Who exactly knows? But I do believe it is possible that we can see Bitcoin reaching at least 200K by the end of this year in 2025. So this article says, how high can Bitcoin go? New BTC price predictions point to 200K in 2025 and $1 million long term. Okay, yes, long term, we know, guys, Bitcoin will be a digital asset that's going to be worth $1 million and higher. Okay, understand. That's why I always tell you guys to accumulate at least one full Bitcoin, because this one full Bitcoin will change your life. Okay, so this is a great time right now to try your best to accumulate a full Bitcoin, guys. Okay, now I want to show you guys this as well. Okay, because it's actually very interesting. A lot of us want to know, when will Bitcoin hit the top, and what's going to happen next year in 2026? Because some people out there are saying the year 2026 we're still going to be in a bull market, but understand, guys, it's a 4-year cycle, and 2026 should be the bear market, right? So I want to read this out to you guys, because this is actually true, and this might actually be facts here for Bitcoin, okay, in the next upcoming few months. Okay, so says here, according to the time between cycle bottoms and cycle tops, about 152 weeks, the Bitcoin cycle top will be in October this year. We've got about 21 weeks or 5 months until we get there. How are we shaping up so far? Okay, other cycles had already completed their first cycle top by this time, and we're preparing for the final run. Some people are under the impression that the cycle can extend, okay, into 2026, okay, year of the bear market, because of the slower price action. Most data seems to favor that the cycle will be complete by the end of this year. Let's see what October brings. More waiting inbound. Okay, but yes, I do believe, like I said, Q4 will be some amazing times. Okay, October, we will see what will Bitcoin do in the month of October. A lot of people call it October. Okay, and of course November, December. It should be some amazing times. Like if we look over here, guys, Bitcoin, what Bitcoin has been doing in Q4, you guys can clearly see Q4 usually Bitcoin does perform amazingly, right? You guys can just clearly see that. Okay, Q4 is an amazing time for Bitcoin. Even for Ethereum, it's pretty decent as well, especially in Q2, which is where we are right now. Yeah, Q2 so far for Ethereum has been looking pretty good. But yeah, Q4 for Bitcoin, it's been looking pretty good for the past few years. So I really do believe 2025 and Q4, end of this year, we're going to see what Bitcoin will bring to the table. But yes, I do believe, okay, we're going to see Bitcoin reaching new highs in the next upcoming few months, guys. Okay, we have a few months more time till we see Bitcoin reaching new highs. And I do believe Bitcoin, okay, during this time period, will be reaching 200K sometime this year in 2025. I do believe Bitcoin has the potential to reach at least $200,000, guys. So keep your eyes on that. Keep your eyes on that 200K price target, because I do believe that is going to be happening for Bitcoin, right? So for everyone that is wondering, will Bitcoin, reach $200,000 by the end of this year in 2025. Personally, yes, I do believe it is very, very possible. I am like 100% certain that we will easily see Bitcoin reaching at least 200K, right? Towards the end of this year in 2025. Okay, so we will see about that. But personally, I do believe it is very, very possible that we do see a 200K Bitcoin happening end of this year in 2025. Now, also, just like in 2017, Trump will dump the dollar and pump Bitcoin. This is not the time to sell, and that's very true. We know Bitcoin is going to be going much, much higher, guys, right? You guys can clearly see that. Okay, there's so much more room for Bitcoin to grow. So be prepared, just like what Bitcoin did in 2017. It's looking pretty similar to what Bitcoin is about to do this time around in 2025. So be prepared for that, guys. Okay. Now, understand Bitcoin is about to, enter the bull zone, or the banana zone is what some people call it. Okay. And when Bitcoin is in this zone, it's going to go parabolic. Okay. We're going to see some gold candles forming for Bitcoin. So Bitcoin holders, I truly do hope you guys are prepared for this, because Bitcoin is about to go parabolic, and Bitcoin is in this bull zone, in this banana zone. We're going to see some gold candles forming. Okay, and that's when retail investors will start FOMOing into Bitcoin. Okay, I've seen this many, many times in different cycles. We're going to see a lot of FOMO happening for Bitcoin. Now, this is the real strategy, guys, of buying Bitcoin. Okay, so what a real Bitcoin strategy be like? Okay, you want to buy the dip, even if Bitcoin is pumping. You still want to buy. It's called DCA, guys. Okay, this is the power of DCA. Okay, you want to buy even if Bitcoin is pumping, or buy when Bitcoin is dropping. Let's just say, for example, okay, it's DCA day for you on a Friday. Every week, you want to, let's just say, invest $100 into Bitcoin every week on a Friday. So you will do that consistently. Every week on a Friday, you invest $100 into Bitcoin. Even if Bitcoin, whether Bitcoin is pumping or dumping, you just invest $100, guys. It doesn't matter. Okay, understand, guys. If you're buying Bitcoin right now at $105,000, or if it drops back down below 100K, it doesn't matter. Okay, when Bitcoin is reaching $1 million and higher, that all this would not matter. Whether you bought Bitcoin at 105 or 102 or 107 or 110 or back below, 100K, all that doesn't matter, because we know Bitcoin will be a digital asset that's going to be worth over $1 million. And trust me, when Bitcoin is at $1 million, you wouldn't care. You would not care whether you bought Bitcoin at 107, 110, 105, or below 100K. You would not care. So just DCA, guys. It doesn't matter if you bought Bitcoin when it was pumping or you bought Bitcoin when it was dropping. Okay, it really does not matter. Right now is still a great time to buy, because we are in it for long term, guys. Okay, this is the real strategy. You simply just want to buy and hold. Okay, you don't want to time the market or anything. Okay, so just DCA, guys. DCAing is a great investing strategy, and that's why a lot of people use this investing strategy. Not even just investing into Bitcoin, but investing into other assets out there in the market. Okay, they would just dollar cost average, okay, into that asset, no matter how that asset is performing during that day, right? So that is that. But yeah, Marcus Saylor says here, okay, if it's not going to zero, it's going to $1 million. And that's true, right? If Bitcoin is not going to zero, it is going to $1 million. And we know, guys, Bitcoin will never reach $0 ever again. We know that. Okay, people that actually think we're going to still see Bitcoin reaching $0, people that actually think that's possible, I'm sorry, but it is not. Okay, it's impossible for Bitcoin to go to $0, guys. Okay, please understand that. So no matter what happens, it's going to $1 million, just like what Marco Saylor said here. And Marco Saylor just posted this tonight, right? Literally like 20 minutes ago, saying bigger dots are better. Okay, and these orange dots, these circles showing for the Bitcoin chart, is the times where Marco Saylor /strategy, okay, MicroStrategy bought Bitcoin. This is their purchases, and you can clearly see during this time period, okay, from 2024 to 2025, the circles have been growing quite massively. So their purchases have been much, much bigger recently. Okay, even when they first started investing into Bitcoin back late 2020, it was pretty large amounts, right? You guys can clearly see that. But during this time period, from, you know, pretty much 2024 to 2025, the circles have been massive because we know Marcus Saylor, you know, MicroStrategy, right? They've been buying a lot and large amounts of Bitcoin. And as of right now, as I'm filming this video, Strategy, they hold, okay, and have accumulated 582,000 Bitcoins, right? They are coming up to 600,000 Bitcoins. And I really do believe down the road, okay, in the future, the next few years down the road, I do believe Strategy, they will eventually accumulate 1 million Bitcoins and beyond, right? That is coming, guys. I do believe that is very, very possible for them because they've been buying thousands of Bitcoins and they are not stopping, right? You guys can clearly see that over the years, they have not stopped, you know, accumulating Bitcoin. Okay, so that is that. But yeah, I appreciate all you guys for watching today's video. Give this video a thumbs up. Of course, subscribe to the channel. I will keep you guys up to date on Bitcoin. But, you know, today, you know, it is still pretty much like where it was yesterday, 105. So it's still holding up pretty well. But yeah, appreciate all you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Let me know in the comments down below. Do you guys think 200k Bitcoin by the end of this year in 2025, is that actually possible? Let me know. I'd love to know. But yeah, appreciate all you guys. And I will catch you guys all in my next video. Have a good one, guys.